Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Thank you. Have a seat. Oh, we love that Monday energy. Welcome to the Social, everybody. It was lights, camera. Yes, welcome to the Social. I'm going to let you guys let that out whenever and however you want. All right, last night it was lights, camera, couture. TV's biggest stars lit up the red carpet at the Primetime Emmy Awards. That was, of course, last night. So from bold statements to timeless elegance, there's a lot of fashion to talk about. So why don't we begin with best dressed for each of us here. Who starts? Who's going to kick
Okay,
us off?
I'm going to kick things off because I chose somebody who I feel like I've chosen probably the most in the history of the Social. I feel like she often is on my best dressed list. It is the one, the only Angela Bassett.
She is in her goddess face.
She never misses.
Always. Look at that dress. Okay, so this is this gold and silver sequin Yara Shoemaker gown. She's been wearing a lot from this designer lately. I think in Cannes she was wearing something as well. I just love the whole look top to tail. It's the sparse jewelry. It is the fit. It is the hair, and I took my inspiration from my hair today from her. So inspired.
Nice.
I love the smoky eye, and it really, it looked incredible there, and it looked incredible on the red carpet. Where it really shone was when she actually walked out on stage to be she was presenting an award, and it just shimmered and sparkled, and again, she just looks sensual. She never misses, always a hit, love her.
Yep.
Wow.
Good
Wow.
choice. Good way to kick
Good
it off.
choice. Great choice.
I went with one of the stars from The Pit. Have you guys watched The Pit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Good show.
So she won last night for Best Supporting Actress in a Drama, and that is Catherine Lanaza. She played Nurse Dana. And I just love this dress so much, but mostly I love this woman has been acting for 30 years in smaller parts and so on. She's 58 years old, and then last night she's going up as the underdog against all the actresses from The White Lotus, for example, and she won. It was just such a hopeful, beautiful story. I love an underdog winning. I should talk about the dress as well, I know. It's really pretty.
Looks like a
Some guy named Jason Wu designed it just for her with this beautiful bow. And like Cynthia said, I love the way she's married the understated jewelry and the slicked back hair, which I think we're going to be talking about later on the show.
Yes.
Because it was a trend last night. Anyway, just good for her.
Yeah.
Isn't that a feel? She won.
Yeah.
Also,
Great.
she's giving off a princess. She's giving off which one? Princess. She's giving off princess vibe. I'm thinking of
Or
a princess.
Cinderella-ish.
It's
Or
Cinderella.
Elsa.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
something.
little Elsa.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned White Lotus because I think every actor practically was nominated in that category. They probably canceled each other out, if you're honest. I think they split the vote too much. Unfortunately, White Lotus didn't win a thing last night. But you know who did win from White Lotus? Lisa from Blackpink. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
That is my best dress.
Wow.
So she walked out yesterday. If you don't know her from Blackpink, you will always know her from here on in. This dress is from an LA-based designer called Lever Couture, and everybody's looking at it going, what is that?
What is that?
It's layers of ribbon, tulle ribbon, that they've just layered and layered and layered and layered and layered, so it looks like cotton candy floss.
Yes.
I honestly, when I saw the
Something
first
about it.
picture, I thought it was animated or something.
Yeah.
Very
It's so
AI
beautiful.
almost. I mean, look at her. I mean, she could wear a paper bag, right? And also she's wearing this, she's an ambassador for Italian jeweler Bulgari, but the serpenti necklace is a theme throughout White Lotus season 3. So it's a nod. I was hoping to get to see this dress on stage. Sadly, guys, they were shut out. They were shut out.
Yeah.
So none of that.
No, but she was an easy choice because she looked really good. So my choice was a little bit more risque, but I'm going with Jenna Ortega. And I'm calling her outfit a reverse mullet because the party was on the top and the business was on the bottom. Now this is Sarah Burton for Givenchy, and she's wearing its entirely multicolored jewels and crystals in various shapes and sizes. I was very impressed that there was not one wardrobe malfunction because those are very delicately placed jewels, but she just looks young and edgy, and she's also known for method dressing, which means she dresses for whatever project she's working on, and she's playing Wednesday Addams. And apparently, according to Emmys style journalist Zaina Roberts-Rossi, she revealed that this outfit showed up at Jenna's house in a coffin. So she really commits to the bit, but I thought she just looked great and she was a showstopper and it was like, that's what we wanted on the red carpet.
You know what though? I will say when she went up to present one of the awards, it was clicking. It's a very clicky kind of.
Yeah, they were banging against each other.
And wasn't that a nod to Isabella Rossellini's
Yes,
character?
when Derek comes
Yeah, she's method all the way.
Yeah,
So
she
good all the
really
way.
commits to it.
You know,
Love it.
22-year-old Mel would have been in that if I could
you
afford
would
it.
have been.
If I could afford it.
I can see that. I can see that.
Okay, so those are the hits, but there were a lot of fashion risks that people take. Doesn't necessarily mean bad. It means they're taking a risk, at least according to us. So who was the risk taker for you? And we're gonna start with you, Jess.
I went with one of the White Lotus actresses. That would be the incredible Parker Posey. I think she took a risk because she knew that wearing this Valentino sort of negligee-like lavender gown would put her on a lot of worse dress lists. And I think they're right. But I gotta say, for me, this is peak Parker Posey. She's probably the only person in the world who feels comfortable enough doing this. She's known for taking sort of esoteric parts. She's known for being unapologetically herself. She's sort of the indie film's darling, and she just wore it, and I don't think it's wearing her. I think it's Pete Parker. Look,
I like the alliteration.
Do you think it's a bit of a nod? Like, it's kind of a nod to her character as well. She was this Texan sort of like, quirky Texan lady, and I feel like it's got kind of flavors of sort of like this deep
Little bit
South.
of that.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
Yeah,
yes.
it's true. It's true. Sid, who's your
Oh, I didn't know who I was
risk?
next. Okay, my risk taker was also from the White Lotus season 3. Actually, White Lotus entirely, but that's John Grise. He plays the creepy Greg. Okay.
Oh.
So this is an unexpected award show look. This is this collarless jacket, no tie.
Oh, wow.
It's a fitted top. It's an oversized bottom. This is a suit by Jacquemus, I believe, and it is. Guys, I know what you're not
Divided.
liking it.
They are
well,
not
I don't
liking
know.
it.
It is high fashion, and I'm sorry, I was looking at him differently. I was like, this is a sexy, confident man look, and I know that's going to be divisive, but
You're with me. I'm totally with you.
too.
You know who I see in this? Tyrone from Eton.
Yes.
We could do that.
I see him rocking this look.
Agreed.
It like screams Tyrone.
Yeah,
so
so much.
good.
Yeah, that's a hot look. Andrea.
All right.
Yeah.
My choice, I don't know what she was in because I was so distracted by her outfit. Now, let me just say this. I love this actress. Her name is Sarah Paulson. Her glam, she has the bob, which you guys are going to talk about later. It is her bob and her makeup and her jewels were fabulous. And this dress is by Marc Jacobs. And I like the off-the-shoulder silhouette, but I feel like there's just one too many feathers in that. And I think a lot of birds had to be plucked in order to make this dress.
Yeah.
And because she's such a slight person and there was so much plumage, it felt like she was about to lay an egg on that red carpet. Do you know what I'm saying? I was just ready for her just to squat and just like... But yeah, it was a risk to have that kind of volume with all those feathers, but I love the color and I love the neckline and I loved her hair and makeup.
Yeah.
And she's a lovely actress. Just less feathers.
Very good.
What about
and
you, Mel?
her earring, her ear cuff.
Yeah.
Watch out, that's going to be everywhere,
very
right?
cute.
That was really, really cool. Okay, you're not going to understand my risk taker at all. My risk taker last night was the stunning Sydney Sweeney. So let's look at her. She looked amazing. So you're like, what's wrong with this look, Melissa? She's stunning. This is custom Oscar de la Renta.
Is it a risk because there's about to be a nipple?
No,
That's a bit of a risk.
That's a good guess. It's a good. You would think, oh my gosh, is she going to slip out? No, that wasn't the risk for me. She was just here in Toronto 5 seconds ago, last week, to debut her film Christie at the Toronto International Film Festival. So you look at this dress. She's a stunning girl. Of course, she looks beautiful. And then I looked and I thought, wait a second, I think I've seen this dress before in a different color. And she was at TIFF and she was on the red carpet, basically wearing the exact same silhouette, but it was in pink. So control room, tell me if we have that or not. Okay, we don't have it, unfortunately.
It's okay.
Unfortunately.
But I do know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I remember
So if anybody
that.
saw her in Toronto, it's basically copy-paste. Copy, whatever those buttons are on the keyboard. So the risk to me is, she's such a young, beautiful woman, is she risks going into the territory of Sofia Vergara, who's another gorgeous woman. She does the mermaid dress to death. Fit, flair, that's the look. She can do anything she wants.
Yeah.
So break out, Sydney, break out.
That's well said. Well said.
Yeah.
I love that.
Although I don't think she could have pulled off the Ortega top.
No.
She couldn't do the Ortega top, but anything else she
I
could
think
pull
she
off.
would have broken the internet. Absolutely.
There's not a diamond big enough.
So listen, Hollywood's leading men raised the bar for menswear last night, and my good, yes they did. There were so many sharp looks. I'm gonna kick this off that as soon as he hit the red carpet, I gasped. It is the internet's daddy, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
God.
I gasped. My God, yes. Our producer just in our ear just said, my God. You are absolutely right,
So
Brian.
lots to take
I don't know
in.
what else to say. Can we just stop and look at this for a
Is there
second?
anything to say?
Not every man can pull off a
You're
white suit.
absolutely right. It's
Yeah.
a white and cream Celine suit. I don't even care. I don't care about anything other than just standing here and looking at him. So you're welcome. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Look, listen, it is white. If you look at the shoes, I don't know if they are sneakers. I don't know what's happening there. There was interesting.
They look like
white
jazz
footwear.
shoes.
I was just about to say, I had those shoes in dance class.
From a distance, I almost thought it was Matthew McConaughey on the red
Whoa.
carpet. From a
I see
distance.
that.
I see that.
You see
Yeah,
him?
yeah, I do.
Strong
I
head
do.
of hair.
Yeah, strong
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
That's really hard to follow, Mel. But I'm gonna do my best. I went with Jeff Hiller, who again won last night he took home the only award for
yes.
Somebody Somewhere.
Wow.
Yes.
And Somebody Somewhere, you can watch it on Crave, it's one of the best television shows I think I've seen in the last 10 years. And I think he took home the only hardware last night for the show. And he just looks so happy and beautiful. It's like this Chanel-inspired, like, ladies who lunch whole outfit. You know what I mean?
I was
With
gonna
the
say, I think
pearl
I have the
details.
exact same
You
outfit.
probably
I do.
But also, just in his speech, he was trying to explain, because maybe not everyone knows about the show. I highly encourage you to watch it. And he said, and this is his words, it's about connecting and love in this time when compassion is seen as a weakness. And so if you haven't seen it, I think there's only 2 seasons. Unfortunately, it didn't get canceled. Hey, wait a second, we should bring it back. He just won an award. We need a 3rd season.
Yeah.
Listen.
Speak it into existence.
Listen. Yeah. Bridget.
Nice.
All right, so that was a good one. I did know, and his suit was so memorable. And another memorable suit was from a man who had a big night last night. I'm talking about Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And have you watched his show, The Studio? First of all, I love his show. Super happy for him. But it was the Etro custom suit for me in this nickel or rust. You know, I liked he's tailored, but also he looks like himself. And he looks comfortable, and he stayed away from that classic black tuxedo that most men just go to. So for me, and the glasses also matched, and him and his wife, they complemented each other. They didn't do matchy-matchy. So it was a win all night for him, fashion-wise and with his wonderful show.
Studio took home 13 Emmys.
It's a
I think they
good
broke
show.
every record. I'm with you.
Yeah, you love
it.
it.
It is so good.
It's such a good show.
Yeah.
Did you say the color? The color of that
It's like
suit?
nickel or rust.
Rust, I feel
Rust.
like.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking cognac.
Yes.
You could also do a
brandy.
cognac.
I'm
Yes.
in there.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
whatever is
Beautiful.
For me, I chose another actor from a show that cleaned up big last night from The Pit, Noah Wiley. I thought he looked
Yes.
incredible. And what's interesting, he wore this custom style, and it was designed by this company called Figs. And you might be like, what is that? I'd heard him on the red carpet, and I thought he said that the suit was made, or the tuxedo was made from actual scrubs. I got that wrong. But it was made from the designer Figs, who actually makes the scrubs on The Pit, okay? So I guess at one point in time, Noah was on a red carpet, and he was asked about how comfortable he was in a previous tuxedo. And at that time, he sort of made a call out, and he said, I'm, challenging Figs to make something as comfortable as the scrubs that I wear on The Pit. To which they said, yes, we will do that. We will make this navy blue, gorgeous tuxedo. And he said it was as comfortable, I guess, as his scrubs. So he also, it was an opportunity for him to shout out all the hard work that healthcare workers do. And I just think that it's always nice.
so good.
Love that.
Classy.
Intense. Yeah, so great.
All right, are we done?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, from now on, every nurse and orderly I see in the hospital better be in a fig suit.
No.
That's all I want to see at my bedside.
Emmys host Nate Bargatze said he wanted to keep the night silly and fun, and so there was minimal political commentary throughout the show. So which got us thinking, should these shows remain apolitical, sort of escapist, or should they lean into the news of the day, the conversations people are having?
How do you guys feel about it? Last week was a really tough news week. We've had a couple of years where it's been really tough, but last week was particularly tough. And I talked to a lot of people this weekend who are like, I just need to turn off the news because I just need a break from it. I just need a break. And I think shows like last night, the Emmys, really help people just to kind of, divorce themselves from the reality of life. But I also think that while I don't think anybody should be muzzled on a stage when you have a platform, I think it's important for us to remember there are people who worked very hard. A large number of people work very hard on these projects that are nominated. And the minute you start talking about the news, well, then you take all of that effort and no one's talking about those people. Like, for example, last night, a 15-year-old boy by the name of Owen Cooper, who was in adolescence, he won and he actually broke a record. He's the youngest male actor to ever win an Emmy for his role as a troubled killer. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this young man who just decided to take drama classes and a few years later he finds himself on the stage. That's who I want to celebrate.
That show itself is so timely and so it's salient to what's going on. Like, there is an opportunity there. I'm not saying it had to be fall on the kid, but like that would have been a perfect time to just acknowledge we're living in really fraught times where you can radicalize someone really, really easily, and let's be aware. Like, I don't think you can separate the content from the politics.
Yeah, but you can't. Here's the deal. I think you can, because what happened last week is not what happened in his show. So I like the conversation that happens around adolescence, and I want that conversation to happen. I want everybody to talk about this young man who took on this role that opened up a conversation in households around the world. I don't want to talk about what happened last week. People need a little bit of a break, and so I'm not shying away from the conversation. And again, I don't want people to be muzzled. If you feel like you want to say something, say something. But I think there's a time and place.
I think the challenge there, and I don't know if this is what you're alluding to or not, the thing is at the Emmys and TV shows and really popular ones is they are often talking about the very groups, communities, topics that is kind of front page news. And so yes, we're talking about disenfranchised, self-radicalized young white men shooting places. Like, that is very timely. You're right. Is it the right time and place? I don't know about that. But last night it sounds like there was a directive. I don't know if it was Nate, the host, or somebody else on high saying, we're keeping politics out of this. And the reason why that bothers me so much, and why I think, if you look at the Emmys, they've always been political. If you were watching the Emmys, whether it was during Black Lives Matter, or whether it was even last year, do you know how many jokes that was made and jabs at J.D. Vance for his childless cat lady? Everybody came for the politicians last year. This year, nothing. And you know what that tells me? That tells me something sinister is going on. I get that escapism is fair. I want to escape too. I do. For me, this is a chill being brought down by the American administration. This is called the beginning of the end of democracy, when you are curbing freedom of speech. People aren't talking about it, not because we wanted to escape last night, in my opinion. People are afraid to talk now. That's a difference. Those are two different things. So for me, my fear is, I get the escapism, but I don't think that's actually what's going on. And if you look at Stephen Colbert, who some would argue lost his job because of a president who didn't like him, that's one of the theories out there. A very popular one. People were on their feet cheering for him. Why? Because they were like, the guy took you down. And you know why they're also clapping? I also hope he doesn't come for me. There's something else going on down there, and it's really scary, I think.
Wow. There was some political stuff, though.
I feel like you guys have brought up such interesting points, and a few things got me thinking, like the idea of adolescence, for example. What if sometimes, instead of a political show, which we know they're fun, they're entertaining, is that the right moment to take or vocalize a political stance instead of putting it in the actual show that you're there for? Like, adolescents did an incredibly important political act by just existing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
By Stephen Graham writing, producing, and starring in it. So the fact that art is out there, I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes I feel like I like my award shows to handle the politics in the same way that my favorite television and films do, which is subversively. Like, we all know, let's be honest, how most people in that room feel about any number of topics. We know. But the art that they create can be subversive and can, as you say, spark these conversations. We were talking about adolescence far longer after the show aired. And so, I don't know, instead of being too on the head and having an award show. Even the very act of them choosing Nate
Bargatze, this poor man.
Nate
Bargatze,
he's very successful.
Butchering this man's
but
name.
he's also known for being apolitical
Yes.
and very safe. So
And
the very
clean.
act of him choosing him is a political act. Sometimes silence can be political.
Yeah, he doesn't even curse in his act, so I think he was chosen specifically. You're right. All right, well, let's keep talking about Nate Bargatze, whose name we're gonna get right. He announced that he would donate $100,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of America, but that $1,000 would be subtracted every time a winner went a second overtime in their acceptance speech. Now, in the end, he coughed up his own money to make up for the deficit. So did you like this whole speech count clock thing? You guys, you liked it? Oh, you all liked it?
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I liked it too at first. I thought there was something really darkly comical about putting these, like, sometimes long-winded actors, thespians on the spot. And if they went over, like, these, you know, Tiny Tim, please, sir, can you have some gruel? You're taking away my money. It was very funny.
Yeah.
But then when it got down to it, and there was, like, your Stephen Colbert and your Stephen Graham, whose speeches went on and on, but I wanted to hear from them both. But then you just see that clicker, you know, $1,000 less every time. There was something uncomfortable, I guess, about that for me.
I think the only thing for me is if you're going to tell everybody who wins an award to cut their speeches or make sure it's to time, then you would think that the writers of the show would have also written the presenter script that short too. It seemed very unfair. I thought that was very unfair. Oh, I'm sorry. I love Jennifer Coolidge. That presentation was too long.
I didn't even know what it was about.
I think they should have charged her more money for her long presentation and give that to the Boys and Girls.
You know, the thing is that every year, though, there's complaints, and they know, first of all, ratings for awards shows are just going down and down and down every year, among other things on television. But ratings, they're always, the complaint is that the speeches go on too long. I don't care about your aunt and your uncle and your whatever and thanking this and
Your
thanking
agent.
that. Your agent, whatever. That they were at least attempting to make a show that was entertaining in its own right. I'm not saying it was entirely successful, but I feel like that was the thing. And I found the device adorably hilarious. I felt like I knew right from the get-go when they had the kids there, they're not gonna not give the money. The kids were there.
And clearly the audience, you guys liked it. I think it was a great idea, although to your point, when someone was giving a great speech, I didn't like that they were like, okay, I'm losing money, I want to, I'm like, no, I actually want to hear your speech, but I think this was a great idea, just wrong award show. I think people are more connected to the Emmys because these are a lot of shows that we know, that we've watched and binged. They need to do this for the Oscars so that when these guys are sound mixing and an international animated doc gets an award and goes up, they were like, what is, that guy needs a timer. It's like, all right, sir, wrap it up. No one knows what you're talking about.
Yeah,
so,
it's true. It's
right
true.
vibe, wrong show.
Yeah, agreed. Listen, we're going to take a break, but before we do, we did want to take a moment to honor a longtime Canadian journalist and CTV news anchor, Beverly Thompson. She has passed away after a long battle with cancer, and she was just 61. Now, throughout her more than 30-year career, she interviewed everyone from high-profile politicians and celebrities to everyday Canadians. She did it all with skill. She did it all with kindness. And for that and all her tireless advocacy work with breast cancer organizations, she was actually awarded the Order of Canada in 2019. So if they are watching, we did want to say and send Bev's family and friends our deepest condolences from here on the social. She was here with us in the very early days of this show, and we had a lovely time with her.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.